Robin Hood. Chapter 1. The Outlaw's Beginnings. In the heart of Sherwood Forest, a young man named Robin Hood lived a simple life, once a nobleman from Nottingham. His title and estate were stripped away by the wicked Prince John, who was ruling in the absence of King Richard the Lionheart. Robin Hood, outraged by the corruption and injustice of the local rulers, sought refuge in the forest. He gathered around him a band of outcasts and misfits, including his loyal companion, Little John, the clever Friar Tuck, the brave Maid Marian, and the skilled Will Scarlet. Together, they made it their mission to take from the rich and give to the poor, becoming the legendary outlaws of Sherwood Forest. Chapter 2. Robin Hood's Merry Men. The infamous Merry Men had grown into a formidable force. Robin Hood's band, made up of men and women who had been wronged by Prince John's greedy reign, lived by their own code of justice. They were feared by the Sheriff of Nottingham and his men, who could never seem to catch them. Robin's leadership was not just based on his skill with the bow and arrow, but also on his sharp mind and sense of honor. The merry men, though outlaws, were not thieves in the traditional sense. They targeted only those who were corrupt and unjust, redistributing wealth to the common folk who suffered under the weight of unfair taxes. Chapter 3. The Sheriff's Pursuit. The Sheriff of Nottingham, a cruel and ambitious man, was relentless in his pursuit of Robin Hood. He saw that law leader as a direct threat to his own power. Knowing that Robin was loved by the common folk, the sheriff offered a great reward for his capture. This, however, only made Robin more elusive and cunning in his plans. On several occasions, the sheriff sent his best men to capture Robin, but they were always outwitted. Robin's greatest weapon was his intelligence. He was always one step ahead. One such incident involved a daring escape from the sheriff's men. After being surrounded in a small village, Robin Hood managed to slip away, disguising himself as a beggar while his men caused chaos and confusion. The sheriff's frustration grew as he could not catch the elusive outlaw. Chapter 4. The Tournament and the Green Arrow. One day, the Sheriff of Nottingham organized a grand archery tournament, intending to use the event to lure Robin Hood out of hiding. The prize was a golden arrow, and Robin could not resist the challenge. Disguised as a common forester, Robin entered the competition, knowing that the sheriff would not recognize him. The event drew a large crowd, and Robin showed off his extraordinary skill with a bow, hitting the bullseye with ease. When it was Robin's turn to shoot the final arrow, he revealed his true identity to the astonished onlookers. With his legendary bow, he shot an arrow that split his own, claiming the golden arrow as the victor. This act of defiance enraged the sheriff, but the people cheered for Robin, further solidifying him as a hero in the eyes of the common folk. Chapter 5, Maid Marian's Love and the Rescue. Amidst Robin Hood's adventures, his love for Maid Marian remained a central part of his life. Marian, a noble woman, had been forced to marry Sir Guy of Gisborne, a man she despised. However, her heart belonged to Robin, and she often worked behind the scenes to aid him in his fight against the sheriff and Prince John. On one occasion, Marian was captured by the sheriff's men and locked away in the castle to be forced into marrying Sir Guy. Robin Hood and his men, aided by some of Marian's loyal servants, launched a daring rescue. They infiltrated the castle disguised as servants, freeing Marian and defeating Sir Guy in a thrilling sword fight. Marian and Robin's love flourished once more as they knew that together they could face any challenge. Chapter 6, The Battle with Prince John. As Robin Hood's legend grew, so did his defiance of the corrupt rule of Prince John. The prince, who had been illegally hoarding wealth and oppressing the people of England in the absence of King Richard, became increasingly desperate to capture Robin Hood. In a final confrontation, Robin and his merry men made their way to Prince John's stronghold. A fierce battle ensued, but Robin's leadership and skill on the battlefield turned the tide. With the help of his band, he outsmarted the prince's forces. In the end, Prince John was forced to flee, while Robin Hood's justice prevailed. Chapter 7, The Return of King Richard. As the years passed, word came that King Richard the Lionheart had returned from the Crusades, and Prince John's reign of terror was coming to an end. Robin Hood and his merry men, who had spent so many years fighting for justice, finally saw the dawn of a new era. Robin was granted a pardon, and the Sheriff of Nottingham was defeated. In a final act of generosity, Robin Hood was able to return to his noble title, though he chose to continue his work in Sherwood Forest as a protector of the poor. Robin Hood and Maid Marian, finally able to marry freely, lived out their days in peace, knowing that they had played a crucial role in the restoration of justice. Chapter 8, The Legacy of Robin Hood. The story of Robin Hood has passed down through generations, inspiring countless stories, plays, films, and songs. Though his life was full of struggles and battles, his legacy remained one of justice, courage, and loyalty. Robin Hood proved that one man, with honor and a strong sense of right and wrong, could make a difference even against the most powerful forces of evil. His tale reminds us that in the face of injustice, standing up for what is right, even when the odds seem impossible, is the truest form of heroism. The end.